Well, it's over. After several months, the Ubers vs. Baxter match has finally come to an end, and in this video, I wanted to give all my thoughts and feelings about this match, what I liked, what I didn't like, and if I was happy with the final results of the match. So if you want to hear all that and more, then stay tuned. Plus, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe since it helps out with the channel. So let's get started with the review. First, let's talk about the things I liked about this match because I want to start off on a positive note. And the best thing to have come out of this match for me would be the introduction of Lorenzo. Once again, the author's done a great job of creating an interesting and entertaining new Gen 11 player, which I appreciate the author taking the time to have so far made all 3 new Gen 11 characters that are very distinctive and great characters. Because even if you don't love these characters, they have at least been memorable and had a good impact on the story. And Lorenzo has been no exception to this from his playstyle, backstory, and design. Lorenzo is definitely my favorite part of the Ubers match, and I hope the author continues the trend of making the new Gen 11 players intriguing. Since if the theory that PXG has a new Gen 11 player ends up being true, then I hope he is just as memorable as Lorenzo and Kaiser have been in the Neo Egoist League arc. Another aspect of the match that I really enjoyed was Baru, since there was a lot of hype surrounding Baru's performance leading into this match since he had an 100 million value, and people wanted to know if he was going to live up to that value. And for me personally, I feel like Baru did live up to the hype since he scored 2 goals and even introduced a new ability, which is the Predator Eye. Some people might call Baru a fraud because Ubers lost, but going into the match, I knew at the very least that Baru wasn't going to score another hat trick, since that would have just made him too overpowered. But the fact that he scored 2 goals convinced the best overall player in the world to come out of retirement and was able to make Ubers into his team that he led are all amazing accomplishments. So I think Baru played great in this match, but let me know in the comments what you thought about Baru's performance in the Ubers match. Also, I came out of this match appreciating Baru more as a character, since for me personally, while I don't greatly dislike any character from Blue Lock, when I first started watching and then eventually reading Blue Lock, Baru is one of those characters that I liked the least, since while I understood the importance of his character and he's a character that's necessary for a story like Blue Lock, I just didn't connect much to his character. But he has grown on me quite a bit from this match, since it was great seeing Baru working in a team system and leading the Ubers, but he is still true to his character of wanting to win with his goals first and foremost, and seeing himself as king. So I feel like the author was able to create a good balance with Baru's ego in this match, where he is still an extreme egoist, but isn't as selfish as he was in the second selection, at least not fully. So I appreciate Baru's character development in this match. Another pro is that I think this match has the best storytelling we have seen so far in the Neo Egoist League arc. From Lorenzo's backstory to Snuffy's backstory, plus doing a good job of showing the Ubers team dynamic. The author did a really good job of actually showing what Ubers are like as a team, both on and off the field. Since while we got a bit of that in the manshine game and even less of it in the bachira game, it felt like the author gave a good balance of showing us the game, but also making us understand who the Ubers team is and why we should care about them outside of them just consisting of Blue Lock players that we already know and most of us like. And finally, the next aspect of this match that I enjoyed and found really interesting was Hiori's development. Since I know people had mixed feelings about Hiori during this match, with some people being annoyed with his supposed betrayal of Izaki by attempting to score and stating that he wants to quit football. But to explain why I think the author went in this direction with Hiori's character, a few chapters back when I did a review of chapter 234, I stated that I was surprised that Hiori was getting as much character development as he was in this match, since I assumed that his full development as a character wasn't coming until the PXG match, since while his backstory being shown before the Ubers match and his commentary during the first half of the match indicated that the author definitely did have plans for his character in this match, I thought it would be more of him just getting the chance to finally play and then a little bit about his development. So when we were getting as much as we were, like I said, I was surprised, but then seeing the fact that Hiori still had a lot of self-doubt and we didn't reach a full resolution to his character by the end of the Ubers match, it makes me think that the author is saving Hiori's full transformation during PXG, and I feel like Karasu will definitely play a role in this transformation, since Karasu has been a part of Hiori's flashbacks, and I think while Izaki helped to unlock Hiori's ego, it'll be Karasu that will finally make Hiori love the sport again, since Blue Lock has shown that rivals are the one that push you the most and make you the most fired up about the sport, since Nagi is a great example of this, with his two rivals being Izaki and Baru that helped to push his ego to the max, and I think Hiori needs something similar to this in the PXG match. Plus, I think it's interesting that at this point in the story, we are seeing that not every character in Blue Lock is this extremely confident egoist, and that characters such as Hiori do still have doubts about their abilities. Plus, considering how much Hiori was tied down by the expectations of his parents, it makes sense that he wouldn't just get over the effects of that situation in one match. So let me know what you think about Hiori in this match. Were you annoyed with his character in this match? And are you interested in seeing where his character will go next in terms of development? And of course, Blue Lock always has amazing goals, so each chapter where a goal was scored was great, with the best highlights definitely being Kaiser's super goal in chapter 220, and every Baru goal in this match was pretty amazing as well. But now that I've stated all the main things that I enjoyed about this match, let's discuss the things that I didn't enjoy as much. Well, probably the biggest aspect of the Ubers match that left me disappointed was the treatment of the main Blue Lock characters on the Ubers team besides Baru, so Nico, Aiku, Aru, and Sendo. Since rereading the Ubers match, I just didn't feel like their characters got a distinctive moment that will be remembered from this match. I mean, I guess for Aiku and Nico, you could say it was their moment of getting Metavision, and while these were cool moments, it was more of just a nice confirmation for readers than an actual surprising reveal, since many readers had been suspecting that both Nico and Aiku had Metavision months prior to the reveal, since it just made sense for their characters to have this ability, and because of their previous performances in the U20 Japan match. Plus, we didn't even get a real big moment to see their Metavision in action more than a small amount of times, since, for example, Aiku's Metavision moment immediately got overshadowed by Kaiser's super goal in the next chapter. Plus, Aryu basically got the Otoya treatment in this match, not really having that much of an impact on the match, since as many have called out, when there were moments that Aryu or other Uber players could have defended, they were given to Baru, which is another not great detail that was especially prevalent in this match quite a bit, which was that Izaki, Kaiser, and Baru would be given quite a bit of defensive moments, even though they could have been given to the defender players of their team, especially for Ubers. Since I understand that the author most likely gave these moments to Baru as an example to demonstrate his growth and show that he's now willing to do other things such as defend and has grown as a player. But considering that many of the Uber players, especially Aryu, already didn't get much shine in this match, it would have been nice to give them more of these moments. Since, for example, Sendo saving Hiori's shot was a cool moment, and I wish we got more of these moments outside of just Kaiser, Izaki, and Baru, especially considering those aren't their positions. So outside of Baru, I feel like the Blue Lock characters specifically didn't get much character development in this match, since I feel like most were just pieces to help Baru score, and I understand that's what the Uber's plan and strategy was, but for example, once Baru decided to no longer listen to Snuffy's plan, it would have been nice to see the other Blue Lock players also make major decisions for themselves, since both Nico and Aiku's previous storylines involved them learning that while they are playmakers such as with Nico or defenders such as with Aiku, they do have that urge inside themselves to score. So that's why I even enjoyed Hiori's attempt to score himself, since it makes sense that no matter what position any of the Blue Lock players decide to play in the future, they will always have that urge as strikers inside themselves, since that is a philosophy that Ego has taught them. And to see basically no one on the Ubers team to attempt to score, not even Sendo, who is the second striker of the Ubers team, make any attempts to score, and just being fully content to feed every one of their the scores to Baru with no objections did feel strange, since I understand that Ubers is the definition of teamwork, being as one organism that works together, but personally, it felt like this hindered everyone else's character development on the Ubers team in favor of showing Baru the entire time, and it would have been nice to see Aiku, Nico, Aryu, or Sendo at least attempt scores, even if it upsetted Baru, since that's what Blue Lock is all about. But I'm really curious to hear your guys' thoughts about this in the comments. And the final other major aspect of the match that I didn't enjoy was how little of Kunigami was in this match. Since in a previous chapter review, I stated how the Ubers match seemed like the perfect time to start setting up Kunigami as a threat to build up his showdown with Shidou. And while I knew Kunigami wasn't going to be a major highlight in this match, since he already had 2 goals under his belt, and this match was about Kaiser and Izagi finally seeing who could score more goals to become the official king of the team, I still wanted Kunigami to have an impact on this match, since Baru and Kunigami barely interacted in this match, which surprised me, since during the first and second selection, the 2 of them being some of the top players in terms of physicality, I was interested to see how the 2 of them measure up to each other now in a 1v1, especially since Kunigami went through wildcard, and the changing of his physique was a major aspect of that. So I felt like Baru would have been the perfect person to match him up to, at least at some point in this match, but they barely interacted, and Kunigami was basically a ghost in this match. I actually do hope that this is addressed in the next few chapters, with Kunigami realizing that he didn't make that much of an impact in this match, and realizing that he isn't strong enough yet to go against Shidou, which maybe this would mean a new ability for him, or maybe this will make Kunigami realize that he can't fight alone on the field, and if he actually wants a chance against Shidou, then he has to work with someone. But yeah, hopefully the author just decided to make Kunigami not that relevant in this match, since he knows that Kunigami will be a major factor in the next match, but it still would have been nice to have a few moments with his character in this match. But let's talk about the ending of the match, and yeah, it went about how I expected. Since several chapters ago, like myself and many others predicted, Izagi was going to score the winning goal with an assist by Hiori, was going to be the ending of this match. And since many people saw this coming, I feel like this also contributed to many people feeling like the Ubers match went on just a bit too long, since I'll discuss that in a moment. But I feel like a few more chapters would have been justified in a lot of people's minds if there was some surprises towards the end of the Ubers match that left us guessing until the end who was going to score. But if most people already saw the ending coming since 4 to 5 chapters ago, or even longer for others, then I understand why there was an urgency for the match to end some weeks ago. Since I am not dissatisfied with the ending, because with how it was set up, if anyone else besides Izagi didn't score, then it would have left many people unsatisfied. But while a match like Manshine kept us guessing closer to the end who was going to score, there wasn't that element of surprise that Blue Lock is more known for with the ending of the Ubers match. But while I am not dissatisfied with the ending, am I happy that Bastard won again? Not really. Since going into the match, I was one of the people that wanted Ubers to win, and not even because I really wanted Baru or the other Uber players to win, even though now that I think about it, imagine Ubers winning and then Nico just stood over Izagi while he was on the ground like he did to him in the first election. Like, that would have been pretty tough, and Nico deserved his get back against Izagi just as much as Baru. But anyways, it's more because storyline-wise, it just makes sense in my mind personally, since a lot of people think that if Bastard won this match, then they will most likely lose the match against PXG, and if they lost this match, then it makes the stakes going into the PXG match much higher, since it leaves the Who is King storyline between Kaiser and Izagi going into the PXG match open, since they would both have one goal from this match. Plus, it'd be interesting to see how both of their characters would deal with their first loss in the league and how it would make them that much more determined to win the PXG match, since a lot of people don't think that PXG could lose this upcoming match. So I feel like this would make more people actually start to doubt if PXG PXG is guaranteed a win for this last match, since the author would be less likely to want to give Bastard a back-to-back loss, since it would be like a callback to the first selection when Team Z went up against Team B and played their absolute best, since they knew they could not lose that final match. But I understand the idea of two undefeated teams going up against each other in the final game is hype, but I think a Bastard loss in this match would have been more interesting. So finally, let's discuss the pacing and the length of this match, since something common that I kept hearing in the community was that many people felt like the Ubers match was dragging on. So I asked in a community post how people felt about the length of the Ubers match, and almost 70% of people said they felt like the Ubers match went on a bit too long. But I had a few people defend the Ubers match and say that if you reread it, then it doesn't feel as long or oddly paced as people might think. And I did reread the match from the beginning, since I was also one of those people that felt like the match was going on just a bit too long. But rereading it made me realize it wasn't as slow paced as I might have thought, and that many factors such as shorter chapters, and for many people, myself included, who watched the anime that read the manga, the Ubers match was the first match that many of us were going into for the first time as weekly readers, so that could also contribute to many of us feeling this way. But also factors such as the ending being more predictable also makes it feel more on the longer side. So anyone that rereads the Uber match, let me know if your feelings about the match change or stay the same. So overall, my feelings about this match is that I did enjoy it, and rereading the match, as I stated earlier, did make me appreciate it more. Manshine is still my favorite match from this arc, but Ubers was a fun time, and I feel like this match will age well, since there are too many good moments from this match for it to just be dismissed, or the match that just drags on while we waited for PXG. So let me know in the comments, did you like this match, did you dislike this match, or did you love it? And how would you rank it in comparison to the other Neo Egoist League matches? This is the end of this video, so please like, comment, and subscribe for more content. I actually have a community post up right now where I'm asking for your PXG predictions for a video. So please check out that community post and share your predictions. And if you want more amazing Blue Lock content, then check out this ego theory that I did. That might just change how you view Blue Lock. Anyways, I'll see you in the next video. Bye!